Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled, Are You Free? Part 2. The first year we discussed two aspects of freedom. We mentioned that if one defines freedom as the ability to do whatever one feels and desires, as we start half a century ago in America, around the world, Woodstock, then Torah does not offer that kind of freedom. Torah does not define that as a freedom. Freedom is a person who's in charge of his impulses, desires, his vices. And we mentioned intellectual freedom, where a person learns how to analyze a topic and not simply go by a gut reaction. And then he's not really free to understand the topic. I'd like to elaborate on that concept a bit. Do we differentiate between the hard sciences, and I include halacha in the hard sciences, astronomy, biology, physics, halacha, Talmud, where the unlettered person might want to make a decision, but he has no ability. She has no ability to. At what rate is the world expanding? Is the world expanding? I feel the world is not expanding. I feel the world is just in this steady state. We're just out there. It's not in motion. No, I feel the world is expanding. I feel the world is contracting. I feel the world is expanding, but at a slower rate. What are these feelings based on? Did you study the area? If you didn't study the area of the universe, the origins of the universe, the rate of expansion, is it expanding? Is it slowing up? Is it speeding up? Your opinion really means nothing. If you go ahead, a person who is involved as a physicist or not a physicist, but is studying the area, then fine. Then a person can have an opinion. So I think everyone would agree in the hard sciences, your feelings don't mean a lot. But in the human sciences, that's already trickier. You meet another individual. You see the person for a second, for a minute, 2 minutes. Something's wrong there. I can see in the eyes. This person's not normal. Person's not stable. Person has some social issue. Person's ADD. I could just say the way they're looking at me, or the way they weren't looking at me. Person's on the spectrum. Now, this is a little bit trickier, this question. It's one thing in the hard sciences. And as I said, I consider Torah, Talmud, halachic question about Hefker, a halachic question about whether the matzah is kosher and not kosher. You don't know the halachas. You don't know what a bend is. You didn't learn laws of a bend in the matzah. You can't make a decision. That's what I call hard sciences. What about the human? I see the person, something wrong. So I didn't study psychology. I didn't meet the person for days, weeks, and months. I just know there's something not healthy with this person. Not 100%. Do we say that? So in my opinion, the answer is partially, to a degree. A person can have a certain intuition to another human being, to certain social situations, more than in the hard sciences, and that intuition may have some accuracy to it. I still would not bet on it. I still would not have a conclusion based on it. I would simply say, let's look into it. There may be something there. Yes, there's certain human beings that are clearly have issues. A person with a syndrome, so there's a physical outright difference in how the person looks, fine. But certain things that are a little bit more subtle, eye contact, and other issues socially, certain things a person says, it seems a little bit off. So do I go ahead and right away assume, oh, you've labeled the person, must be correct? No. Is there something possibly there? Yes. So I would differentiate between the gut feeling that a person has in the hard sciences, which to me plays minimal role or nothing at all, or may even be off and negative, versus the humanities, the social assessment of another human being. There, person may have a certain hunch about the other human being, about certain emotional, psychological, or social issues the other person has, just based on seeing, even if it's not so blatant and obvious. It could be. But even then, I would want further research to look into the area before that hunch and that gut reaction becomes a conclusion. And once again, I would always want the Chochmah Bina Dat approach, where they get the basic facts. Then Bina is of extrapolations, and Dat is certain intuition. So yes, a person may have that Dat in the social situations even before the Chochmah Bina. It's possible, but it should be looked into as well. Shalom.